going to start on our knees, so in a folded position. We're going to start working on our wrists. So interlacing the fingers as we draw our belly button and grow nice and tall from the crown of our head. We're going to start creating a figure 8, going in one direction as our fingers are interlaced. And as we do this, we're sitting up nice and tall, and then quickly in the opposite direction. Now, when you do this, really work from the wrist as opposed to the elbows. So we're just going to do a few more. 3, 2, and 1, and just shake that out. So when we go into our quadruped, this will be okay for you, Julie, not too much pressure on your shoulders. Open up the fingers nice and wide, and then we're just going to shift our body weight forward, flexing at the wrist, and then come back. So we just slight lean forward so your head goes past your fingertips, and we come back. We just do a few of these, but while you're doing this, pick up the belly. Don't let the head hang off the spine as you look at the corner of your mat. We've got 2 more here. Last one, and then when you're ready, flip your fingertips to face your thighs. So now your elbows are facing your chest, and we shift it forward and back again. Only as far as you feel comfortable. We're just going to do only a few of these. Should feel really nice. Elbows are locked in. Just 2 more. Last one. And then just go back into your quadruped, fingertips facing away. Knees are up under the hips, neck long, draw the belly button in, and we're just going to do a couple of scapular presses before we move on. So we're going to open up the shoulder blades and close them, so protract and retract. Now, if there's too much pressure on the wrist, just shift your weight back a fraction so it's more on your knees and your hips. Only a few more. So we sink in and then we push away. Elbows do not bend. Our shoulder blades love this. Last one. And then hold it in a neutral position. Pick up the left hand and place it behind your head. Get the elbow out and get that nice opening in the chest. And as you get that nice opening, lift your chest towards the screen or to the wall, elbows to the ceiling, and then come back facing the mat. And again, so it's a really beautiful spinal rotation. You don't need to come up all the way, it's slightly restricted. Let's do 2 more. You might want to hold it up there. You do what feels right. Last one. On this last one, keep your elbow facing the ceiling, extend that top arm. And we're going to thread the needle. So we come through, thread it all the way through. Shoulders hit the ground as you pull your hands away. And we come back and reach up to the ceiling. Get that really nice upper back spinal rotation. So we glide it through, lower the shoulder to the mat, looking in the opposite direction or towards the screen, and then we come up, open up the chest nice and wide. Last one, we go through, just a nice gentle stretch, and then come up. Last one. Placing your hand down over onto the other side, hand behind the head, and we open it away and bring it parallel to the mat. And again, and while you're doing this, really engage that core. Don't let it go. And don't let your head hang. Work on the neck muscles as well. You've got 1 more of these, and then we extend up to the ceiling. So hold that extension, reach the arms up, go a little bit further, have a look at those fingertips before you thread it through, lower it down. Oh, that feels good. Opening up the shoulder blades. And let's reach up, taking it up, reaching it all the way up to the ceiling. And then thread it through. Keeping the shoulders square when we come up. Last one. Reach it up. And then bring it through. Great job. Then we come back onto all fours, quadruped. Take your hands out diagonal. So I'm going to pick up my left and my right. So I'm facing like the corner of my mat. I'm going to pull that back and give myself a nice lat stretch. So almost like a, what do we call that stretch? A child's pose. Got away from me. And then come up into almost a quadruped and give me a nice camel stretch or a cat stretch. And then we go into the reverse into a camel. And a cat stretch, so you're in a diagonal. And then a camel. One more, nice big open up the shoulder blades. Spine to the ceiling. And last one being your camel. Really sink the chest towards the mat. And go back to neutral spine. Take the hands over to the other side. Nice diagonal. Go into your diagonal child's pose. Get that stretch along the lats, along the side of the body. And your lower back, your QL loves this stretch. Come up on all fours in that diagonal position. I know it's a bit weird, but we're going to do a nice cat stretch. And then go into your camel as you sway, lifting your head up. We do 2 more of these. Take your time, push against the mat. And you'll notice that one side is gathering, so it's hip to rib, and the other side is nice and open. Last one, nice big cat, camel, same. And camel, go back into neutral and come back to the center into a quadruped. From here, if you're going to actually extend one leg behind, float the opposite arm out in head and just reach and get that nice diagonal stretch. Now, if that's too much, you can just lift the leg and really get the lengthening of the back of the legs, but it would be great if you can reach forward and get that nice diagonal. Pick up the belly, push against the ground, lengthen and reach. Hold that for 5, 4, 3, try not to sink the belly towards the mat. Last one, and then bring that down. And over to the other side, extend the leg, float the arms up, like you're shaking, about to shake someone's hand. And get that nice lengthening, really exaggerate that pull. Hold that for 5, hold it for 4. You've got 3, 2, 1, and then bring it down. When you come down, if you can please come down into a mermaid position if you can. And if you can't get into that position, you can cross your legs. I'll go in a mermaid, arms out nice and wide. The foot that's closer to you in the center, we're going to go to that leg and reach over. Now we're going to try to get the elbow down onto the ground, but we're going to keep the hip anchored. So we lengthen, get that lateral stretch. And then come over to the center and then over to the other side. Really lengthen the arms. Reach. You pretend your chest is in between 2 panes of glass, so open up the chest as you lower it down. Now this time when we go over, if you want, you're going to pick your bottom off the mat, push your hips towards the screen and lengthen. A bit of an extension of the back, opening of the chest. If you can, have a look at the hands that's behind and then come back down and then reach over to the other side. We'll just do this one more time. Take it down, reach up if you want, push the hips forward, open up the chest, lengthen, reach, and then come back down. Over to the other side for the last stretch here. Lengthening. And the same goes here, keep that hip down on the mat. This time, if you can, the top hand now comes onto the ground. You come up into a cartwheel, one leg extension, extended, the other one bent, and we go into a 6 o'clock position. So you really need to work on your balance here as we tap the ground and we come up. So just a little bit of oblique work here as we lengthen. So the stretch is in the extension of the arms. As you do core work, got to sneak in a bit of core. Let's go 4. You got 3, 2, really reach up. Last one, keep those fingertips down on the mat as you raise the straight leg up. Excellent. The top hand now comes behind. As you do that, same as we did with the mermaid, extension. As we open up the chest, hold that for 5, like you're creating a banana. 4, 3, 2, 1, then come back down. Arms out to the side. Fingertips to the shoulders. And a bit of spinal rotation as you look towards the straight leg. Come to the center and over to the other side. That's it. Come to the center. Draw both knees in. Extend the other leg out. Hands out to the side. Back to 6 o'clock. As you tap and you lift. Really get into that hip. We've got 4 more. It's reach, bend. 3, 2. Last one, the fingertip stays on the ground. Float that leg up and bring it around as you're almost like you want your fingertips and your toes to touch. You're wrapping it around like a cylinder. Opening up the chest. Hold it for 5, hold it for 4, hold it for 3. You've got 2 more. Then bring it down. Back into that beautiful letter T. Fingers to shoulders and just rotate one side to the straight leg and then over to the other as you still maintain that nice tall posture. Coming back to the center, hands down back into the mermaid. So now you're on the other side. Arms out, really push the hip down as you reach in the opposite direction towards the bent knee with the foot closer to you. And then away, nice and long. This time we lift up and go for that stretch. So the fingertips hit the ground. If you want, lift, opening up the chest and the hips. Really nice hip stretch here. And then bring it down, over to the other side. Maybe you can come down a little bit further. Surprise yourself. Come down. Maybe this time you'll reach and bend a little bit more. We come down. You can hold it for as long as you want. You don't have to go my speed. Last one. Make this the best one. Really open up the chest. Take a deep breath in. And we come back down and finish it off with the last stretch. So from here, if you don't mind, come onto your bottom. Knees bent, hands underneath the thighs. Let's do that seated camel. So really rolling the shoulder blades as you scoop your belly. Ground your feet. And then as you come up, just stack nice and tall back into that neutral spine as you draw your shoulder blades back. And one more time, open it up, tapping that chin in, creating that space between your chest and your thighs, and then restack. Now I'd like you to find your sit bones. We're going to float one leg up and then the other into a boat position. So we've done this in a couple of classes. I know you can do this. Holding that 90 degrees. You can stay here if you like, or bring your hands to your ankles and pull that in as you grow tall in the spine. So really lengthen, work on that. Excellent, great job. Hold it. Let's see if you can do this. The right leg, we're going to extend up to the ceiling and give that a nice stretch, or you can lower your foot down onto the mat, or you can keep it in the boat position. Completely up to you. Well done. 4. Julie, look at you. You're like a gymnast. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back into table. And then extend the other leg up. So you're really working on this balance, but we're giving the back of the legs a nice stretch, our hammies. Hold it for 5. Good one, Jeanette. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back into your tabletop. Lower both your feet and give yourself a hug. That was excellent. Extend both legs out in front. Just open it up into a little V, not a wide V. Take the arms out in a nice big T. The left hand is going to come across as you rotate, holding onto the inner side of the leg. As you come down and really lengthen, the other arm is reaching behind. That's it. As we lower the chest down, get that stretch in the posterior chain. And then come back up. We're going to do one on each side. The right hand scoops towards the inside of the left leg thigh. Glide it down, hand behind. And if you can hold onto your ankle, the bottom of your feet, draw it in. Get that nice stretch. Hold that for 5. Hold that for 4, 3, 2. Last one, and bring that back up to the center. Excellent. So we take it over to the side and do some sideline work. Heels are in line with your glutes. Now I'm going to hold on to the top leg, the ankle, and I'm going to pull that back, giving myself a nice hip flexor stretch. Now if that's too much, you can take it down if you like, Julie, if it's too much on your shoulder. Jeanette, we need to push against the ground, create the space between our ribs and the mat. That's it. Now this is the kicker. If you can hold on to that foot and bring it forward and extend it out in front. That's it. Great. And then bring it back. Go back into that hip stretch. Very impressed. And then bring it forward. Excellent. Since we're so flexible, keep that leg there and then just come up onto your back as you bend one knee. So it stays bent and then you go straight into a hamstring stretch. That's it. Now, when you're ready, after getting that nice stretch, take your arms out in a big letter T and take that straight leg across the body, so across the hip. So my foot's coming towards you. And so I get that really nice stretch in my outer hip area. My feet are still grounded and my left glute comes off slightly, not too much. I just want that nice stretch. And then from here, draw a line on the ceiling with your toe and take it all the way out as far as you can so you can get that inner thigh stretch without the knee that's facing the ceiling going in that same direction. So anchor that foot down. And again, draw the foot past the midline across the body. Do this stretch one more time. Should feel really nice. And then draw your belly towards your spine, engage that core as you take it away. Hold that for 5, hold that for 4. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Bring it in the center, bend that leg and take the other leg up to the ceiling. Holding onto the back of the leg, let's draw it in and get that nice hamstring stretch. just so you feel that nice pull, don't go too far. When you're ready, release the leg to the ceiling, hands by, like in that big letter T. I want you to think about someone's pulling that ankle to the ceiling, so get that lengthening going. Before you take that leg across the body and get that nice stretch in the outer thigh and the hip. And then when you're ready, draw that line across the ceiling and take that leg away from the midline. Here you have to really draw in your core, but you get that nice inner thigh stretch and a nice hip opening stretch. When you're ready, with all your strength, pull it in, take it across the body. Get that lengthening, please. And then take it to the center and away. This is your last one. Or you can do as many as you want, completely up to you. Let's do one more. This one's fun. Take it across. It is a power Pilates stretch class, so it will be challenging. And then away. And when you finish this last stretch and you feel strong from the inside out, take it to the center. Hold on to the calf. Pick yourself up, bend the knees, and go into the opposite direction as you fall forward. So ankles and glutes in alignment. Push against the ground, create the space. So we want to engage in that serratus, holding onto the ankle with the top leg and pull that back. That's it. I know you two are very flexible, so let's fling it forward and lengthen it out in front. That's it. And again, let's thread it through and behind. Make sure you're getting that hip stretch, you're not just going through motions. And then extend it out in front. And this is the last one. Hold on to this and flip it onto your back. Hold on to that calf. Pick your shoulders up from the mat. Extend the bottom leg. And I want you to literally bring that leg towards your chest, chest to thigh, but get the stretch in the extended leg that's parallel to the mat. At the same time, open up the shoulder blades, draw the belly in and just hold it here. And then when you're ready, switch it over. So we do a hamstring stretch, a hip flexor stretch, opening up the scaps, and then also engaging the core, so drawing that in. Hold that for 5, hold that for 4, hold that for 3, 2, 1, bring both legs up, bend them and rock and roll up onto your knees. We've got both hands out in front here. We're all stacked, hips, knees, and the whole lot. Knees, hips, shoulders, all in alignment. We're going to take the right hands back, like a backstroke, and just tap the back of the foot, and then come back up. And we'll do that over onto the other side. We take it around, so we do a nice shoulder rotation. Have a look at that hand as it comes down, touches the back of the ankle. As we push our hips forward, creating that arch in the lower back, and then come back. We've got one more. So take it all the way around, but this time keep your hands on your heels and take the hand in front up to the ceiling and have a look at that hand and lengthen. Push the hips forward. Hold it for 5. Hold it for 4. Look at those fingertips. 3, 2, 1. Use your strength to come back up into that high kneeling position. Take the other hand behind like a backstroke. Hand to the heel, so have a look at that. And then once your hands are on your heels, bring the arm that's extended out in front to the ceiling and have a look at those fingertips. Push the hips forward. Really want to create that arch in the back. Hold that for 5, hold that for 4. We've got 3, 2, 1, and then slowly come up. Arms out in front, grow nice and tall, and we've got 2 falling trees. So lower yourself down, pretend your upper body is frozen like a popsicle. So it all comes down to that diagonal, get that stretch in the front of the thighs, and then come up. One more time, lower it down. How far can you go without arching the back, hurting the knees? Just come down. If we hurt the knees too much, don't come down too far. You can place your hands at the back of your heels. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then come up. Excellent. Hands down, last quadruped exercise or stretch. I want you to extend the left leg out. Make sure you're parallel to the mat, so drop the hip. Float the opposite arm, so right arm in front. So you're nice and straight, like in a line. Then I want you to take your arm and your leg away from the midline to a point that's comfortable. And then find that extension, like someone's pulling you from your ankle and someone else is pulling you from your fingers. Just a modified bird dog, where we're doing a diagonal stretch. And then we bring it back in and lower it down. It's a strong stretch, that one. So extend the right leg out, float the left hand in front like you're about to shake someone's hand. If this is where you stay, this is where you stay. And then draw your arm and your foot away from the midline into each corner of the mat, and then extend. Push against the ground, pick up the belly. Really lengthen. Hold it for 5, hold it for 4, you've got this. 3, 2, this very strong stretch, and then bring it in the center and lower it down. Go into your child's pose, opening up the knees. Curl the toes under for me, please, in this stretch. Draw the armpits down to the ground, head between your shoulders. This is going to be challenging. Julie, you'll do your modification, maybe stay on your knees if it's too much for your shoulders. But what we're going to do is torpedo forward into a plank. So we shoot it forward, and what actually happens is your shoulders go over your wrists. We did wrist exercises at the beginning of the class, and then we open it back into a child's pose. So when we torpedo forward, our knees join, we go straight into a full plank. As we stretch those wrists again, pick up the belly, push against the ground, and then we come back, opening up the legs and stretching the posterior chain and our toes. Last one, this is strong. So torpedo forward, hold it. Get that bottom down, lengthen the neck, push against the ground, drill your elbows towards your thighs. And then when you're ready, open up the knees, last child pose stretch. Then we go straight into a camel stretch. So tuck your chin in, or cat stretch, sorry. Tuck your chin in, but I want you to continue that flow forward into a high cobra. And then go back into your child's pose. One more time, ripple it forward from a cat stretch. Lower the hips down, your feet will separate. Squeeze those shoulder blades, looking at the horizon. Open up the chest and then go back into your child's pose. When you're ready, walk your hands towards your knees, peel your knees up, hands on your thighs, open up the knees. Here we go, challenging balance here. It's a bit early in the morning for that. Open up the knees, grow tall, draw the belly in, chest up. Now when you're ready, palm to palm. So heels are touching in this pose. You're folding at the toes. Knees are nice and wide. Hold that for 5, hold that for 4, hold that for 3. Listen to the change. Fingertips tented, hit the mat. Bend the elbows, tuck the chin in. Last C curvature, stretch for the spine. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick your elbows off the mat. Draw your knees together. Lower your knees down. And we're done.